So what do you unravel in the president's latest tweet, and does it speak to exactly what you wrote about today?
I hope so. Look, I mean, it's obvious that he's leaning towards agreeing to the deal. That would be a good decision because the deal's not going to get better with a second shutdown. If anything, it'll get worse. And a national emergency would be a mistake. You just saw a Democratic congressman talking about some of these projects in his district that would get defunded. There are also Republican congressmen and Republican senators who would object because their projects are being defunded. They need that money for their districts. And on top of that, if you declare a national emergency to circumvent Congress to pay for the border wall, what's to stop a liberal Democrat one day from declaring climate change as a national emergency and implementing the Green New Deal? So we don't want to set that precedent. But there is a way that the president can get the full $5.7 billion without a shutdown and without a national emergency. And that is by shifting the debate away from the shutdown and towards a sequester. So in December of this year, there's going to be an automatic sequester of spending if Congress doesn't act, if the president doesn't approve increasing the spending caps. The Budget Control Act that President Obama signed in 2011 is going to go into effect. And if Trump doesn't agree to lift those spending caps, then there's going to be an automatic $55 billion reduction in domestic spending that Democrats consider a priority. There'll also be a $71 billion cut in defense, which won't make conservatives happy. But Democrats are going to have to decide, and there's no shutdown involved, it's just an automatic reduction in spending. Are we willing to sacrifice $55 billion in domestic spending to deny Donald Trump a measly $5.7 billion for the border wall? So
yeah, but
right
Mark, let
now
me just jump in with a question
Yeah.
here. I mean, couldn't they all decide that they want to delay again when the sequester kicks in, kick the can down the road some more? They're pretty good at that.
It requires the president, it requires an agreement by Congress to increase the budget caps over the sequester. The sequester is the baseline. That's what happens if nobody acts. So 2 years ago, they lifted the budget caps and added money for defense and added money for domestic spending. That expires in December. So if no action is taken, the cuts are automatic. Congress doesn't have to vote. The only way it's stopped is if they pass something and the president signs it. And he could say to the Democrats, you want that $55 billion? You got to give me my border wall.
Fascinating. Thank you, Mark. Good to see you, as always.
Martha.
Great piece today.
Thank you.
So is 2020 Democratic contender Cory Booker trying to impart his vegan